Bismillah. Welcome to the Data Science A to G Theory and Programming Bootcamp. In the previous two videos, in these two videos, I showed how to do matrix operations with Python Anaconda Spyder and how to do matrix operations with randomly generated data with Python. So, in this video I will show you how to do matrix operations with Excel data files. Okay, but before I start this, I would like to do a quick recap of the previous two processes. That first one that we used the NumPy library in order to do basic matrix operation. For instance, for this one, so this is a matrix 2 by 3 matrix. So in order to do this one, so I can quickly just select this code and press Ctrl plus enter, then I will get my code. Okay, so but in order to do transpose of this matrix, I need to use NumPy. So here I used import NumPy as np. Then this is my transpose matrix, np.transpose my matrix. But in order to execute this statement, first I need to execute this statement, import NumPy as np. Otherwise it will not work. Let me show you what I wanted to tell you. So if I want to run this, okay, so actually a few minutes ago I ran NumPy, otherwise it would not do. But before I should do this actually. Okay, import NumPy, then I can do import addition of two matrices, so that np.matrix. So when you click on this matrix method, then please click Ctrl plus I, and on the side bar you will see the help file of this method, and most of the time you will see examples code. Okay, so this is the very basic matrix operation. You will do this for few very basic purposes. Okay, and then in the second one I showed how to do matrix operation with randomly generated data. A very few time you will do this. A very few time you will use like randomed method. Let me say Ctrl plus I to generate this random data. So in order to do this, let me show you quickly. Okay, so it will generate a random data. So then I showed how to generate random data with normal distribution, with for instance like this, n 125, and then this 16 is the variation. This 16 actually is variance. So in my norm method, if I click Ctrl plus I, it will show me norm method. So this Gaussian distribution actually. So I showed how to generate normal distributed data and how to work on this. So in this video actually my goal is to show and describe how to use Excel data file in order to do matrix operation. I mean, in order to do data science operation, most of the time you will get your data in a large database or Excel file. So I believe you are familiar with Excel file, and this is actually CSV comma separated file. So let me click Windows plus E, then I will get my file explorer, and this is my data science A to G. This is my folder, and where this in this folder I do have, so like this this CSV file. Actually you should know that the CSV file is more likely an Excel file, more likely an Excel file. Will show you a CSV file is more likely. So this is a comma Microsoft Excel comma separated file. So this one, let me open this one, dummy salary data. So once I open this salary data, you will see that this file actually is saved as actually it is saved as a .csv file comma delimited file. So or even if you do a right click over here, then go to properties, then you will see this is a .csv file, Microsoft comma separated values file. Okay, so most of the time you will get your data in a comma separated file, CSV file. So then how do we import a comma separated CSV file? Is very easy, and in order to do that, actually we need to use pandas library. So in this line I have imported pandas as PD. So this is the shortcut. I have given pandas name as PD. So then first of all I need to import this, control plus enter, then and then in pandas is imported. So how do I know that pandas is imported? If I do not get any error message over here, then I will know that is my operation, my execution has done correctly. Let me do it again. So that means my panda is imported correctly. Now an important thing that sometimes people do mistake, and even that this is very important thing that you need to understand. Okay, I will show that later. So I'm giving my this is my data set name salary ds equal to pd dot read csv. Let me show you pd dot actually dot. Once you click pd dot, then you will see you can see excel read. Actually you will see, you can see read CSV, read CSV, and then within this parenthesis you will see, once you click that, you see that there are a number of arguments. So if you do a control plus I, then you will see that read CSV, read underscore CSV file. It has the description that it read CSV comma separated file into data frame. Okay, so it has all of the parameters description, and you can go through these, and at the end there are some examples, maybe you can go through this. Okay, but I will tell you how to and what to do in order to import a file. Okay, so in order to import a file, let me go delete this part and go back to my original code. So you will write read CSV, then within parentheses you will write your data file name. If your data file is within a C drive or specific folder, then you can give your folder name like this way, and you can copy this code, and we may put over here like this way. But The frequent way that I usually do that, you need to know where your data file is. If you select, click over here, you see that where is your data file over there on the top on the title bar. It is showing editor C:user, my username, my workspace, data science A to G, then matrix and vector operations folder, and within this folder I have this file, right? So here one thing that you need to make this folder, actually this folder, until this folder as your current or root directory. How do you do that? So you will click over here. You have to browse a working directory over here. You have to set it up over here. Otherwise, what will be that mistake that most of the time you may do? Okay, then what I'm showing that if you want to do this, and if you want to click enter, control plus enter, you will show that that file not found error. You will say that it will say that file does not exist, but your file already exists, right? So how do I actually browse that file? Actually, I need to give my file full path over here, or that generally I need to click on this button over here and then go to workspace, my folder location. I know my folder location, and you have to know where is your folder located. So this is my project, and I will click over here, and this is my folder. Then I need to select only this folder, okay, and then click select folder. Then you see that this is your file path, it is here. So at this point, if you select this and make control plus enter, then you see that there is no error. That means this data file is set up. Okay, now if you give a print this line, if you execute this line by control plus enter, you see that there are lots of actually these are data. Actually what are the data over here? You see that actually these are actually data. So before I will show you actually the if you remember the CSV data file. So let me run it, and if I run it, so you see that it is showing first column is experience in year, and second column I do have annual salary. So how many I have these records? I have 51. That means the very first row was used for titles. So actually I have 50 rows over here. Remember that. But this is not the convenient way that you will open your data file with Excel, and you will see that. But there is another convenient way that you will see your data file. How do we do that? You will click here on the variable explorer. You see on the variable explorer you got a number of variables, and these are the variables actually some of my matrix A, matrix B, C. These are from previous runs, from my previous programs that I ran this. Okay, so but for this one my data set name is salary DS. So I need to look for salary DS. You see that these are in ascending order. All of these variables are put over here in ascending order. Okay, so if I go to see the salary DS, you see the data frame. This is the data frame, type is data frame, and you see this 50,2. That means it is a matrix that has 50 rows and 2 columns. You remember that my Excel file had 50 rows and 2 columns. So then if I double click over here, you see that I got 3 columns over here. So the very left corner column is auto generated this is the index, and this is my first column. You see that this is my first column, experience in year, and this is my second column, annual salary. So now this is the way that you, when you double click over here, then you see your record or your data variable. And then, so this is a matrix, right? So this is a 50 by 2 matrix, right? So this is a 50 by 2 matrix. Okay, so then, okay, so let me, so if we click on the erase button, then all the eraser button, if you click, then all of this will be removed, erased. You see that it has erased. So now, in order to get this salary DS, you have to run this again. You have to run this again. You have to run this. Okay. Oh, you see that good thing that I got this error message that says Panda PD is not defined. Okay, that means actually I need to execute this as well. So I need to execute both of these. Okay, so now it is good. You see that I got only one data from my variable over here. There is name salary DS. It is a matrix and it has 50 column and 50 rows and 2 columns. Okay, and this index, it will not be, okay, it's not needed. Okay, and now you see that my first column name is experience and in year, and the second column is annual salary. So now remember this for a while. If I want to, so I got my matrix, right? The whole matrix. So now if I want to assign this column to a variable as a vector, mainly that will be called a vector. Okay, that is a 50 by 1 vector, 50 rows and 1 column vector. If I want to assign this column in a variable, then what I will do, this is my vector, actually this vector name will be my salary ds dot ilog, then dot ilog, and then within angle bracket, what I will do, I will select colon, then comma. Colon means all rows. Colon will be meaning all rows, and I'm selecting only 0 index. You know, the match in Python started with 0 index. So this index is column is just ignore this one. This one is auto generated. We don't need this. This is not in your data. Okay. So this is the column 0 and this is column 1. Remember this column has index 0 and this column has index 1. So in order to assign this column as a variable, actually this will be a vector. In a later video we will discuss about vector. So we'll assign this experience equal to salary ds dot ilog is colon, that means all rows, colon only 0 column. Okay, dot values. Okay, so then this will, by this if I execute this, then I will get, you see that I don't have any error message over here. So that means this code is executed. So you see that I got experience, right? So my experience, this variable, it is float type. Okay, and then it has 50 comma nothing. That means it is by default it is 1. That is, it is a 50 rows. It has 50 rows and only 1 column. That is actually there is a matrix. If I double click anywhere, either here or here or here, you see that this is my data. This is my experience, okay, okay, in ER data. So for instance here I'm seeing here, but if I want to print this, then I will do print exp. Then you see that these are the 50, okay, 50, actually these are actually printed in one row, but here actually these are in one column but with 50 rows, okay. So then similarly, if I want to assign my column 2, this column 2 value is annual salary as my salary, then I will do same thing, salary equal to salary ds dot ilog, and then within uh, hmm, square bracket I will put colon comma 1 means the second column, then dot values. So then if I run this, then I got my salary data. It's my salary data, okay. Then if I print my salary, then I see I got my salary data, okay. So so this is very simple. I think now we should understand these, and if you do some practice, then you should be very familiar with. And again I can select all of this code and I can run by pressing Ctrl plus Enter all together in one line, okay. So now this is good, it's okay. Now let me do another example. So I have in my folder, I have another dummy Titanic data file. You see that. Let me open this file quickly. This is also a CSV file, and it has the first column is called serial number, and then second column I have survival test status, and I have ticket class, I have gender, then next column I have age, then another column I have spouse or sibling abroad, and then I have parent or child abroad, and then in the last column I have ticket fare, okay, these values. So how many columns I do have? In 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, remember that I have 8 columns, okay. So let me remember these columns, okay. So then, and how many rows I do have, I can go quickly, and you see that I have 2436 rows, okay. I have these many rows. Actually in the Titanic ship there were about 2430, there were maybe 2435 passengers, and since I have used the very top row as header, so then in this dummy data file I have 2437. So actually I have 2436 records, okay. So remember this one. So okay, let me close this one, okay. Now I want to assign, I want to read my data from my dummy Titanic data.csv file. You see that my file name is dummy underscore Titanic underscore data, and it is a CSV file. So then similarly I will do pd dot, okay, read underscore CSV, and then within the parentheses then I will put my file name over here. Then if I run it, okay, but before I run it, let me clear my variables and clear my output console over here. So that remember that at this time, since I cleared my variable, so I need to execute this line, right? Import pandas. Okay, that's good. Then I need to execute this line. So that control plus enter. So I got my Titanic data. So you see that I don't need to go all the way in to see how many records I do have. I can see here. You see that I have 2436 rows and 8 columns. Okay, and the columns names are already here also. See, the columns names are here. Okay, so now then if I want to print the entire data frame, then control plus enter, then I will get all of my records. But here at the end it is showing me 2436 rows and 8 columns. So this is a matrix. It has this many rows and 8 columns. So it is showing me not all of my records. You see the first few are shown over here, and at the end you see the middle there are some dot means there are some missing. Not all are not shown over here, but it is showing the last few. Okay, now for instance, you know that, right? Remember that we have, so how many columns I have? I have 8 columns, and these columns is auto generated with this data frame. So I don't have access to use this, and I don't need this to access. I may need serial number, and this has index 0, and this has index 1, this has index 2, and this has index 3 and index 4, and then up to index 5, and then which one I selected, you see that up arrow, and then 6, and I have last 7 to 0 to 7. That means I have 8 columns, right? So now if I want to assign a serial number, okay, this serial number column, although I don't need this anymore, and actually it is not useful to get serial number. So this serial number, this column, if I want to assign this with a variable, with a vector actually, then I will do what is the command, then serial number equal to Titanic ds dot ilog, and then all rows column comma 0th column 0 dot values. Okay, then if I want to print this one, then I can run this. You see that if I close this, I got serial number. If I double click over here, so that I got all of the serial number. What will be serial number from 1 to what, 2436, and you see that here I have 2436 rows. Okay, similarly, if I want to assign, for instance, another variable as survival status, this column has survival status into a vector variable, vector. So then similarly I will do Titanic ds dot ilog, and then this column is 0 and 1, so this column is 1, so comma colon comma 1 dot values. Okay, and then ticket class is column 2, and then gender will be in column, gender will be 0 1 2 3, and gender will be in column 3, and age is my next column 4, and all the way my ticket fare will be column what? Can you recall? The ticket column will be 0 to 7, the total 8, so ticket column will be 7. Remember that my ticket column will be 7. Do not be misled, so you cannot make it 8. Okay, so in Python columns start from 0. So 0 to 7, that will be 8. So if I run all or some of these, okay, so that you see that I will get all of my variables over here. You see that by clicking over here, or without clicking over here, you can guess that this is the matrix, and all of these other these are actually the column vectors: age, gender, serial number, survival. These are is good that these are placed in ascending order, in alphabetical order. So you see that my original matrix has 22,436 rows and 8 columns. So I may have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have not actually used all of those. And these 6 variables, and for all I have these 2436 number of rows. Okay, so now if I want to print, I can print all or all of these I can print. But for instance, let me go one by one. So last one, if you print the last one, it is showing me that it is showing the first, it is showing me the very first one, and the very last few. So this is the way all the way very last one, and this is the very first one. Even if you double click over here, you see that very first one will have 82.1708, and all the way last one is last three are 27.1417 and 22.417 and 30.0708. So these are my data. Is good. So the last thing I want to discuss, that I want to tell you, if you want to read an Excel file, so you have to use pd.pandas.read_excel file. Then you will be able to read the Excel file. So let me show you. I have this is an Excel file. You see that here, this is an Excel file. Okay, but my dummy salary and Titanic data file, these were a comma separated, but this is an Excel file. So for Excel file import, you cannot use this read_csv file. You need to use read_excel. Okay, then for instance, then it will be good. For instance, if I give my Titanic 3ds as my data frame for this Excel file, if I run this, then I should get this is my Titanic 3ds file. You see that this is another record, and then it has how many? I don't need to go all the way in. Actually, I can see from here, right? It is 1309 records. Okay, and I have it is showing 1308 because the first one of the past rows was used for title of the columns, and it has 14 columns, right? It has 14 columns. So this is the way that you can import a data file from Excel comma separated file, CSV file, and even Excel file, or there are other format that you can get data from a database file as well as. So that's all. So I have put all of my this data and programs in my GitHub account, CSITEd experts, in a repository is called data science A to G. So if you go to this repository and if you download this, and you should get all of these programs. So I like you to do some practice with this program, and then hopefully you will understand this and you will be good to start your data science programming and data science operation a little bit. In the next videos I will show you how to do more with, for instance, how to clean data or how to fix data and how to visualize or represent data set. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.